The video you're looking at right now is from a year ago when all those cars, Marley, were stopped and kept after a sideshow.
Yeah, we certainly couldn't forget this one. It's been 1 year since that massive sideshow bust in Stockton. Around 90 cars impounded, some 250 citations handed out. Well, tonight, many of those cars are still locked up, and the sheriff's office credits that crackdown for essentially stopping all sideshow activity in the county.
Your reporter, Madisen Keavy, covering San Joaquin County tonight. She's live from where that bust happened. Madisen, what's next for all those cars?
Still waiting for their cases to go through the courts. I mean, this is a lengthy legal process. A year ago to the day, nearly down to the minute, dozens of cars, hundreds of people packed this very intersection in Stockton. A task force with the sheriff's office only had a small window to make a plan and respond. You know how many cars were here and how many they took in. And now they say a year later, all of that work has become sort of a blueprint.
Yeah, we've really not had a large organized sideshow like was happening prior to that event.
A sit down with the San Joaquin County Sheriff on lessons learned about that sideshow bust, with cases still moving through the court.
It was dangerous for the people that were involved in it. It was dangerous for our citizens around it.
Videos from that night in Stockton show the chaos. Nearly 90 cars in the middle of it, impounded as evidence. Now, with some of those cases closed, we're getting a first look at what investigators found inside some of these cars, including illegal guns and drugs.
If they're going to victimize our citizens, there's going to be a price to pay.
Those cars that were seized from the sideshow have been stored here at the sheriff's office for the last year. The last time we showed you, they wrapped down one side, around, and back up. Today, that's not the case. There's only 30 cars, give or take, that are left in custody because these are the ones that cases are still ongoing. The rest have been given back to the drivers because those cases are closed.
It's been a year now and I'm still going to court. I'm still having to take time off of work.
Isaac Cervantes was arrested at the sideshow. He says he stumbled onto the scene by accident, but the sheriff's office says there's proof that's not the case. A year later, his car is still impounded as evidence.
It's not worth it to go out there just to even look because, you know, some of those drivers, they could, you know, pop a tire or, you know, they could lose control and go straight into the crowd where you're standing. So I would say, like, it's dumb, for one. And, you know, you're putting a lot of other people at risk.
But do you think that seeing how this has played out and how still a year later many are still going through the processes is deterring people from doing that, at least in San Joaquin County?
I think it's a huge deterrent. I think it's a huge deterrent across not just our county, but across the state.
From what was found in the car to the tire tracks and marks that are still there and visible in the center of this intersection. You know, the sheriff says that that blueprint is expanded statewide. We know in the last year there have been, more crackdown laws on sideshows, especially for spectators of sideshows as well. And the example that he gave was basically somebody that got their car back here in the last year, had it taken from them the next night for reckless driving, doing the same thing that got it taken in the first place. So that car and being able to keep it evidence is really the key, they say, and we're starting to see that statewide.
Yeah, how they handled that really changed the way sideshows are tackled, at least in some jurisdictions. Yeah. 1 year later, wow, it's been a year. Madisen, thank you for the